Hi guys, today I enter into the another topic, that is how we create a object in Java without a new keyword. So there are different ways are there. Through object cloning I can did it, or I can create a object without a new keyword by the help of word methods available in class. So in this case, simultaneously I use two methods of class. You know that class is a predefined class in Java. It is defined in that is java.lang package. There is a first method is available in the class. The method name is there is public. Here is static. There is a class for name. You know that. That is for name. When I pass here, parameter is a string. That is a class name. But remember, this is a static factory method. You know that. What is factory method? You already know. Factory method means it is the method of the class returns the base address of the same class object. It is a factory method. It is the method of the class returning the base address of the class object. And this method throws one exception. What are the exception? It throws class not, here you see, class not found exception. Remember, here what happens? If the specified class is available, this method load the class in the JVM occupied memory space. But on the other hand, if the specified class is not available, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? Class not found exception. Careful, another time I explain. It is the method available in class. It is also called as what type of method? It is a static factory method. Here you see. It is a static factory method. You try to understand what is a factory method. Factory method means word. It is the method of the class returning the base address of the same class object. And this method having a single parameter, that is the name of the class. If the class is available, then fine. As a programmer, I can explicitly load the specified class in the JVM occupied memory space. But if the class is not available, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? Class not found exception. We know that a class loader always load the class file implicitly in the JVM occupied memory space. But in some special cases, like I want to load the driver class in JDBC program or a JDBC application in the JVM occupied memory space by the help of this method. You just see this is the first method available in the class. It is a factory method. Another method is available in the class. What the method is? That is public. Here you see. It is a non-static method, public object. That is new instance. Here you see. That is a new instance. This is the method. What is the return type of the method? Is reference of which class? Object class. You know that. In case of Java, who is the base class for every class is that is object class. Now, new instance method able to create the object of the loaded class without using which keyword? New keyword. But this method throws two type of exception. It throws that is first. First exception is that is instantiation exception. Here you see instantiation exception, and another exception it throws. What the other exception is? That is the illegal access exception. Illegal, that is access exception. So careful, when I call this method, it is able to create an object of what? the loaded class. But this method throws two type of exception. One is instantiation exception, another one is illegal access exception. You know that when we call this method, we are bound to handle both the exception. May exception arise or may not arise, that's not a matter. But we are bound to handle the exception. Now the question is, how as a programmer I can create the object in Java without a new keyword? I just show you. Now check here. Now when I start the application, here you see, take an example. There is a class is available, start dot, that is Java. I have a class called as start class. What I can do here, that is I just write here public class, that is start. Start is a class. Anyway, what actually happens here? I just write here that is int, that is a role. Role is an instance variable. Here I pass, that is a string. Here you see, that is a name. So how many instance variable I declared here? I am declaring two instance variable. One is a role, another one is what? Name. You know that here what happens? Start having a non-parameterized constructor. What I can do here? I just write here that is system.out.println. Here you see. What I can do here, I just pass object is fine, object is constructed. I just write here object is constructed. Anyway, I write here. Now, I just want to inject the, that is the value to the instance variable. I can do it by the help of what? Setter method. What I can do here? Public, that is a void. Here you see, that is a set name. What I can pass here? That is a fine string name. Here you see my instance variable name and parameter name is same. How can I differentiate it? This dot name is equal to, that is name. What is my next job? I just write here, that is a public. Here you see, that is a string, that is a get name. Here you see. When I write here get name, what is my next job? I just write here, that is return, that is name. So anyway, this is the simple program I use. I have to define the assessor method for set the name and get the name. I did another thing here, that is another assessor method is public, that is a void. Here you see set role. But I can pass here, that is int role. You know that what is my next job? I just write here this dot role is equal to, that is role. Now same way I just do one thing, public int, that is get role. Here you see, that is get role. What is my next job? I just write here return, that is role. Now check here, that is the end of the application. Here you see what I can do here. Start is a class, it has two instance variable, one is role and name. I have an unparameterized constructor. Careful, why I repeatedly use this concept? Because it is related to the topic. I have a non-parameterized constructor. Within that I just have a print statement, object is constructed. Now I can inject the data to the instance variable by the help of word? Setter method. I can extract the value by the help of word? Getter methods. Over. Now what I can do here, I move to the, that is next class. What I can do here, that is fine. Here I write public class, that is test. Test is a class. Now what I can do here, that is public, that is a static. Here you see void main. What I pass here, that is a fine string. Here you check. That is the args. I just enter into the main. Now my question is, what is my job? How I create the object in Java without a new keyword? Now see, within that I just use the try block. In the try block, what I write? Class CC. The class is the name of the class. CC is the reference of the class. What I did here, just I write class dot for name. Here you see. What I did here, I just specify the class name. Stored dot class. When I write here stored, it specify that stored dot class. If the specified class is not available, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? Class not found exception. Before I start the class, I already elaborate the total method, that is what signature of the method. If the class is available, then fine, it load the class. If the class is not available, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? Class not found exception. What is my next job? I just write here. That is a stored, that is a fine. What I can do here? That is a stored SS is equal to. What I can do here, I have to cast it. That is stored. Here you check. What is my next job? CC dot, that is new instance. You know that a new instance method is able to construct the object, but it throws two type of exception. One is illegal access exception, another one is instantiation exception. Now the question is, at what time the exception it generate? Why this method generate an exception? If the stored class having a non-parameterized constructor, then fine, it is able to create the object. But if the stored class having a parameterized constructor, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? That is the instantiation exception, because it is unable to create the object. So listen, in this program there is no problem. Problem will not arise because I have what type of constructor? Here you check. In this case, I have a non-parameterized constructor. So it does not generate any exception. But if the class having a parameterized constructor, then the program must terminate by generating which exception? Instantiation exception. So careful, Java tell, in this particular case, exception will not arise. It is the construct the object of which class? Stored class. After I create the object of the stored class, what I can do? SS dot set role. What I can set here? 101 I set. That is the SS dot set name. Here you see. I just set the name here. That is RAM. Here you see. I set. Now same way, I just write here. That is a system dot out dot. That is a println. Here you see. That is the roll number is. Roll is fine. That is the SS dot. That is the get roll. Here you see. Then what is the next job? I just write here. That is the one tab. Here you just write name is SS dot. That is get name. That is the careful. I just cover this part. This is what happens. How many exceptions you are bound to handle? 3. One is this line throws one exception. What is that? Class not found exception. This line throws 2 exceptions. What the 2 exception is? That is the illegal access exception. Another one is instantiation exception. You know that that is as a developer, first you write. That is sorry. What do you write here? That is fine. That is catch. Which exception? That is the class not found. Here you see, class not found exception. Check here. That is, I handle the first exception, that is a class not found exception. See here, what I can do here, that is system, here you see, dot out dot, here you see, that is the println. That is class is not available. If the class is not available, then this exception will arise. Then another, you know that a single try block can have multiple catch blocks. So I can write here, that is another catch block. Here you see, that is here you see, illegal access exception. Here you see, illegal access exception. Anyway, would it write here? I just have a print statement, that is a system dot out dot, that is a println. That is a find unable to create object. Here you see, create object. Unable to create object. Then another exception is catch. What the exception is? That is instantiation. Here you see, instantiation exception. Here you see, that is IA. Anyway, here you also write here, that is system dot out dot, that is println. Here it write, that is unable to, that is create, here you see, an object. Unable to create an object. Anyway, end of the main, end of the class. So simple code, I just show you how it is possible that without a new keyword, how you can create a new object. Simple words, this is the program I write. But remember, at what time you are not able to construct the object? In this particular case, if I have a parameterized constructor, I don't have any non-parameterized constructor. I have a parameterized constructor at that time. I am not able to create the object. So it has only one constraint. What the constraint is, I just show it. In this case, object is created and I am extracting the data. Here the problem will not arise. So here I am successfully, here you see, here I am successfully create an object. Here you see, that is successfully create a new object. Create a new object. In this case, there is no problem. I am successfully create an object. But listen, the second case, another case I show you where you are not able to create an object, but it throws exception. What the case is, take an example. I just write the class like this, same class, that is stored. Stored is a class. It has the, that is word instance variable, that is a role, and it has the instance variable, that is string name. Now check here. I have a parameterized constructor here, stored, that is a string name. Here is int role. Now in this particular case, if it has a parameterized constructor, in that case, I am not able to create the object by the help of this technique. What I can do here, if I write this dot name is equal to, that is the name, here I pass, that is this dot role is equal to, sorry, that is role. In this particular case, I am not able to create the object by using this technique. It is not possible. I just do one thing, at the rate override, here you see, that is public, here you see, string, that is to string, here you see. What's I return here? Fine, return, fine. Name is, here you see, that is name is plus name plus what I pass here, roll number is plus roll. Now this is the simple class. In this case I am not able to create the object because I have what type of constructor? Parameterized. This technique tells that is in this particular technique, if I create the object, the class having what type of constructor? Non-parameterized. If the class having the parameterized constructor, then I am not able to create the object. Thank you.